Gemini, welcome to your general reading for 1 till 10 September with me, Adrian Nelson, your psychic tarot reader. So whether you're Gemini or however you came across this reading, there's a message here for you. So stick around, and when you get the message, you go, I'm saying yes to that, I'm claiming that for myself, all right? Maybe take a nice little breath just to confirm that to your body, your system, your brain, your mind, your energy, your consciousness, everything, all right? So, general message for 1 till 10 September, take it as it resonates. We're going to take a look at your recent past, current energy, and immediate future, clarify, end off with an oracle message, and then do a little bit of a recap at the end to make sure that you get all the powerful message that the universe has for you, Gemini. So be sure to stick around, and without any further ado, let's get right into it. So, recent past energy. Possibly dealing with a Cancer here, possibly unfinished business with a Cancer here. Doesn't have to be the sign, maybe you got strong Cancer in your chart. Link in the description is free natal chart. You can check your placements out there. Very helpful when you know those things. But in the recent past over here, bit of a situation that you were dealing with over there. I'm trying to find the right way or the best way to put this to you, because you know you get it, but sometimes to relate it in energy is a little bit difficult. Might be dealing with a connection here in the recent past that I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say you're dealing with a toxic person, but it's more like toxic situation meets toxic situation, you know, where maybe you are not in the best flow of your energy and the other person is not in the best flow of the energy potential either. So it might seem like the one or it might seem like the other, but it's more a space of, it's more a space, Gemini, of, maybe two people that were just not ready for love, that were just not ready for a connection. What I can see, though, is that you really needed each other at the time. I can see that you really needed each other. It's almost like you needed each other to complete each other's sentence and sort of thing. And even though there may have been a lot of challenges and a lot of, fear and even regret in this connection, I can also see that there was a lot of light in it. And something that we want to always bear in mind is that when we move forward into life, we often remember the bad, but also remember the good. Okay? Doesn't mean that you have to go back to the person, doesn't mean that you have to write them a long thank you note or give them a gift of gratitude or whatever. But in energy, you can say, you know what, thank you so much for that role that you played in my life. Thank you for the interaction that I had with you, because that brought me towards where I am at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we've got as your challenge. Your challenge is about moving on. It's almost like some of you may want to get even. You may be in a space where you want to let them know, or you want to make them understand how it is that they made you feel. And I get that, but in a way, there is still a way of holding ourselves back in life, because, and it may not be that I want to let them know how they screwed me up, or, it might just be that you really want them to know what they've done, to maybe they don't do it to someone else, which in all of those can just be justifications within yourself to want to sort of, reconnect with someone, to hopefully make something work out again, give it a second chance, which you may or may not realize may or may not be the best thing for you going forward. Let's look and see what's happening in your current space. Look, here's the thing. You can make something work with someone, even if it was a bit of a challenging thing before. Possibly could be dealing with a Virgo, possibly, or somehow a Virgo energy may be involved. It might be that someone maybe thought there was a certain energy, a certain zodiac energy, and now they're different zodiac energy, maybe didn't realize that, or on the cusp or something like that. But there's a space here of wanting to make something work, possibly with someone new, but in most cases I see it's more sort of like wanting to make it work with with a person from before, or maybe wanting to convince someone not to leave, that sort of thing. And I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't do that, but what I can tell you is that if you give the situation some time, it's more like the solution will present itself to you. All right? You may be sort of tired within your cells, even down into your molecules, from dealing with the situation on a consistent basis. And if you just allow things to just flow, you get emotional balance there within you. And instead of pushing, you simply see where life takes you. I see a beautiful high-level commitment here for you. I see possible marriage here for you, stability, starting a family, possibly with this person, but very possibly with someone else. Okay? Not gonna lie to you. Energy going forward. Lots of success, victory and success in every way, shape, and form. Almost like getting it, that sort of thing. You know, some of you may feel that there's something missing in your life and you just can't place your finger on it. It's about getting that. It's like getting that missing sort of link. Okay. Going forward, gaining more clarity, gaining more understanding of life, and that opening the door for you. So let's put it like this. So when we decide that we want to have a better, more enriching experience of life, you're open for more, you're open for good, you're open for the highest good. You want to have what serves you best, what serves others best, but, you know, predominantly yourself, in a completely unselfish sort of way, you know, because I deserve it, because I am worthy of it, because I'm worthy of love. Then the magical steps sort of present themselves to you. And that is why it's so important in your current space to sort of allow, you don't have to fully surrender, but at least try not to micromanage every single last thing. Like, try not to micromanage the things that you're already micromanaging. Okay? Let's clarify your overall challenge. Just going to draw one card for that from the bottom of the deck. Queen of Pentacles. You can really make your life work, Gemini. You can really make things work to your advantage here. You can really, I almost feel like this is not necessarily for all of you, but this could be for some of you, that maybe there's a possibility of making life work really well for yourself. This could be in business, in your personal capacity, love, friends, being supported. And you sort of want to let that other person know, almost like, look how well I'm doing without you. Wouldn't recommend that. Okay. If your motivation is really to reach out and to have an amicable sort of connection between the two of you, to positively maintain whatever is meant to be maintained that will serve in the best interest of you both, then you can reach out. But if that is what you are feeling, then I would still sort of give it a little bit of time, because you may say that's what you want, but if you really honestly look in the mirror and speak to yourself heart to heart, like have a heart to heart with yourself, then the question is that really the truth? You know, or are you just fooling yourself? So it's definitely time to have a heart to heart sort of with yourself. Okay? Recent past clarification, Ace of Cups, Page of Wands, the Moon. So you may have opened your heart towards someone, maybe same person or someone new, and then they weren't the other person or the same person, and it didn't quite go the way that you expected, you know. It's almost like the universe gave you some guidance, and it's almost like you missed the guidance. So for those of you that did reconnect with someone in the past, it may have been to just make peace and then move on. But I can see instead of making peace and moving on, you may have been wanting to set up home, you know, put down some roots. And I feel that there were some realizations here, some realizations that may have made you feel very weak, Gemini, like in energy, you know, sort of drained, that it's like when you slowly have that realization sinking in that no matter what you do, this is probably not going to work, okay? And then I see that you really had to work through those feelings and emotions over there. Let's see what we've got for you here in your current space. I really do get the idea of building something new with someone else. very positively. Building something new, or at least let your focus be on being ready to build something new with someone else. So you may say, that is what I had with them, and I really, really like that. And everything has got positive and negatives. So what were the positives? And then maybe being willing to have that with someone else, but also where did the negatives creep in? Because the one thing that you do sometimes, Gemini, with your beautiful heart, you give so much of yourself that you almost lose yourself in the connection. So it might be a good time to first get some clarity about who am I and who do I actually want to be, and then forgiving yourself and forgiving the other person for the versions of yourself or themselves that they were not, that you would have liked them to be, So maybe they weren't capable of it, maybe they didn't want to give it, maybe they weren't able to give it, whatever it is. In order to really build something beautiful going forward, it does require for you to forgive the past. And that sets something very positive in motion there for you going forward. Okay. Let's look at the potential outcome for you going forward. What is it that you can look forward to, Gemini? Let's see. So, 10 of Wands, Queen of Wands, and Ace of Swords. I see you releasing, but then I really see some of you really still trying to make that past thing work. So, releasing, forgiving, moving on, and then almost feeling by letting go, maybe I can make it work again. Yeah, this is more space of new things, new beginnings. I'm not saying what you should or shouldn't do, but what I do say is that trying to make something work that is not necessarily meant to work, that it's better to release, it might just need to more heartache and pain, especially for you. Okay. Let's see what messages we have from this card. Just came out right away. I'm going to show you in a moment the oracle message that came out. But if this is resonating with you, if this is helpful, then most definitely give that yes, like the video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification button so that you know when your weekly readings are coming out. But it says, again, with that whole having a heart-to-heart with yourself, it says, convince yourself and not others. Because your life is about you. Your life is not about other people. You know what I'm saying? And at the back, there's a message for you from the universe, and it says, the need to clarify, explain, or justify oneself in personal relationships is always self-serving. What's important is knowing the truth about why you felt the need, because it often points to insecurities that can be dealt with in more effective ways. Hi-ho, the universe. I feel that for those of you that try to go back to a previous connection, hoping that it's going to be different from before, you may have grown and the person may have grown, but it can become even more clear now that you are not really meant to walk the path of life together. I see more a sense of building something new with someone else, not necessarily a stranger, but maybe somebody that you didn't have that profound connection with before, and growing stronger now. Okay, so that's what I got for you. I hope that it helped, my beautiful Gemini. Any of you are interested in learning to read the tarot, there's a link in the description. For my step-by-step tarot reading course, there's a link for my free oracle card reading course. So check it out, and I'll see you next week. Bye.